The Tradition of Christian Iconography in Polish Contemporary Art. Magdalena Moskwa and Beata Ewa Białecka. May I start? Tradition of Christian iconography in Polish contemporary art seems to be very strong and visible. Two Polish women artists, Magdalena Moskwa and Beata Ewa Białecka, have tried to interpret this tradition in their own ways. Magdalena Moskwa deals with the fleshness of the painting, being inspired by St. Francis' stigmata and Jesus Christ's wounds, as found in the poignant images of crucifixion and the Ecce Homo type of iconography. Beata Białecka, on the other hand, creates paintings inspired by images of Christian saints, trying in this way to connect this iconography with contemporary visual culture. In 2004, Magdalena Moskwa abandoned the traditional paint on canvas technique and picked up an old, nearly forgotten recipe for chalk mortar on wood. It is an incredibly time-consuming technique that requires patience and precision of the highest degree. And so we can speak of an in-depth, three-dimensional penetration of the image and not just a two-dimensional flat surface. There is a strong link between her art and traditions of the past, especially with religious Christian art. There are some clear references to the reliquaries revealed in the pious manner she handles human figures. Moskwa presents them similarly to the glazed boxes, where we can see the hidden sanctity. A fascination with funeral portrait is another trait to follow, since women portrayed in these paintings are displayed in a peculiar manner, where they seem suspended between life and death in some bizarre state of swoon or lost consciousness. There is a little bit of votive art thrown into the mix too, indicating votive customs and rituals along the way. This can be identified by the way the artist deals with parts of the human body, providing them with a certain symbolic conciseness. Human figures are often hieratic and appear on a silver background, which lends them an air of eternity, bringing a natural association with an Eastern Orthodox icon. Her latest works, where the surface of the painting is shown as an illusion of human skin, could be interpreted through religious art and tradition, with particular stress on the Christian worship of the Incarnation. Moskwa draws a parallel between the act of painting and the Incarnation. In painting, as much as in taking on a human body by Jesus, something imperceptible becomes visible, embodied in a physical form. Okay, I'm ready. Beata Ewa Białecka, from today's perspective, brings about the subject of Mary, Eve, Veronica, Clara, the Pieta, and the Good Shepherd when she presents the Visitation scene or employs the images of the saints. Her paintings offer an incredibly interesting combination of the present and the past, that is, Christian iconographic tradition with the attention focused on the woman's world. Saint Sebastian shows a child larded with arrows, laying on his mother's knee. It appears to be a kind of pieta, since Sebastian's suffering does not take place in solitude, as is typical for the eternal iconographic scheme. This time the saint is not alone. He has his mother who bears his pain and who accompanies him while he is dying. Arrows stuck in the naked, unprotected body of the child sometimes pierce into the mother's hand. In the vicinity of the woman's head, there are paintings within the painting. the images of Saint Sebastian as a young man wearing white cloth on the hips and waiting to be pierced with arrows. The way of presenting the saint's silhouette refers to tradition, but for this reason the lack of torture instruments strikes even more strongly. His future is not fulfilled. Maybe, therefore, we can rather see here the projection of his mother's thoughts, her dreams, the vision of postponing a martyr's death. For the mother, her child is always a child, and his death always causes lasting pain, even if the death is in the name of God and faith. Out of the mouth of the doubled woman's figure came out bands with the inscription "Be inspired," an advertising slogan from the world of modern fashion. In the given context, however, it becomes polysemantic, as if asking a question about the inspiration for the martyr's death of Sebastian, who embodies all those people who, inspired by a certain idea, die in the name of it. According to Białecka, the Good Shepherd is a woman with a child on her lap and a lamb on her shoulders. There is a dialogue with the Pieta pattern again, and certain elements appear which obviously make the representation more contemporary. For example, the animal rings entirely comply with the standards introduced by the European Union. Similarly, in the case of the Visitation of the Femina cycle, Mary and Elizabeth are taken out of the biblical context, and their moves are joined with a band with Intimissimi inscribed on it. Thus, a company name is again included in the play of meanings, not only making the iconographic pattern more contemporary, but also pointing to the intimate relationship between the two women who suggest the mystery of the future birth with their touch and gestures. There are also peculiar black bands radiating from the female silhouettes, which resemble elements of paper toys for girls, with silhouettes cut out and dressed in clothes using such paper stripes. Therefore, in a sense, Mary and Elizabeth became patterns that can be dressed in any clothing to see them anew, in the context of the present time. Thanks to this, there comes about the situation where Mary resembles any woman sharing the intimacy connected with her expecting a baby, with another woman being her friend.